Everybody, it's Teaching Tuesday yet again, and right now we're going to be doing a Diamond 4 MIDTOWN LW, Anna, Baptiste, and Mercy VOD review. Let's see how many tips we can give a Nanor in 23 minutes, 36 seconds. Audio? Okay, the audio is very low, so the audio is very scuffed. It's fine, we can still watch it like this, no problem. We're gonna start with Lifeweaver. I think that Lifeweaver is a very underrated pick. Okay, very underrated pick. I think he works really well, especially if they are trying to play with heroes that can dive you. You can escape very easily, and you can save them. Or save your teammates in case they get dived. But let's see some gameplay. Join voice chat, please.
Hi.
Okay.
How you doing?
Okay, waiting to see if people are gonna join voice chat. Maybe they wanna do like a lot of communication. You know, what are those key bindings? Pretty hard to say like what's gonna happen right now at the beginning, like what you should be doing with LW, because it's not like a hero that you can use with your teammates proactively in order to synergize with them. Like for example, you can pedal platform them up on high ground and stuff. I feel like he's more reactive to how the enemies are playing. Like, okay, they're gonna play with Reaper that's gonna go in, I'm gonna pull you. I'm gonna use my 3 in this case. I'm gonna do that and that and that. Anyway, right now we have Anna Banana alive. My number one tip right now in this team comp, this is in Diamond. I will first try and see if they have like some divers to see if Anna is going to be safe. If Anna's going to be safe, then I'm not going to care about her that much. I'm going to be caring about enabling the other two DPSs more, because Anna's going to be pumping a ton of healing into the Reinhardt. I would like to press tab at the beginning. 15 seconds into the game, you are able to see the enemy team comp. Right? Like for example, right now I know that I have a Genji, so I'm going to be supporting my team, seeing my squishies in the back, seeing my Reinhardt too, and keep an eye out to who Genji wants to go for, right? Who Genji wants to go for. And if Genji wants to go for somebody, I'm going to be ready to pull them. I would like you at the beginning to start and play a little bit further away from your team though. Not that grouped up, because Lifeweaver has absolutely sick long range, and you want to take as least resources as possible away from the enemy team. So if they spam in a general choke and they hit 3 people at the same time, they're just going to give the enemies ult charge, right? Even more in the back to just help them out, thinking to see if you're going to pull Diana. Probably you will. Still waiting. Nice patience. Another trick that I have for you with the LW is that even if you do not need your pedal platform, the cooldown starts counting the second you put it on the ground, so you can technically have to exactly as you did over there. You can just put it underneath, even if it's not going to lift you fully up. Maybe Genji wants to go for you, you can just mess up their game a little bit, their dueling, by just lifting yourself up on the pedal platform. So even if you're not going to use it, it's better to always have it on the ground, right? I love how aggressive you're playing, but again, keep an eye out to for your support. Here's your primary concern in this team comp, as your support can do a ton of healing to your teammates. Good pull over there. Doesn't matter that much that kill though, because Anna dying, or the point has been capped. It's fine. Ultimates are available. I want to see how you're gonna use your kit right now. I love the range you're playing from. One thing I can say is that if, for example, yeah, exactly. Like you see the Genji, this is what I wanted to say. You see the Genji over there to the left side. Make sure to fully charge the healing blossoms over there. Spam them from time to time as you're doing, but do not be afraid to pull even if they have HP. You gotta calculate how much damage Genji's gonna be doing. He does 50 with a dash, 80 with a melee, land the shuriken or 2, and then that's more than 100 damage. If you see the plus sign, which happens I think at 50% of the plus sign, love that pedal platform, by the way, to counter that. Love that Ritu. I have nothing to comment on this. You played it perfectly. Then don't be afraid to pull. So you got to keep track in dueling in these situations with pedal platform, how much damage the enemies still have to do to your teammates before you should actually invest into the pull or not. The platform, using the platform to counter the graviton surge is getting trickier and trickier, because Zaryas are trying to do it at the wall. So keep in mind that maybe sometimes it's good to invest the pedal platform initially, but then invest your pull to save them. It's fine over there. I would like to skip. Pull first, right? Pull first, and then after Genji dashes, that's when you go backwards. Because over here, you might have been able to live from the Genji dashing to you. You used your pull while your shift while you're pulling your Torbjorn. So you want to use your shift at roughly the last second possible, rather than using it as a mobility skill if you're playing against heroes that can close the distance to you, like Genji was over there. Love the intention. And one thing though that I gotta say is that I am never ever seeing you on high ground. If they play with enemies, which they are, forehead, with enemies I mean that have a hard time at like landing shots long distance, they can like one-shot you. Okay, I understand this up to Hanzo now, but before that I had Genji and Torbjorn. Then make sure to just pedal platform yourself up onto the high ground and just play over there. Imagine that you're playing Mei and you're walling yourself for a better angle. Same thing with LW. Your goal is to stay in spots where the enemies are gonna have a hard time getting to you. And even if you're gonna take a lot of damage with 225 HP, you can regenerate your shields after some time out of combat. It stacks with the support passive after some seconds out of combat. And also you have your shift that I think gives you 50 HP in case you need it. Right? So don't be afraid to go on high ground. Your pulls are top tier. Love them. Okay, all good, all good. This is an example in which I would like you to put the pedal platform to the side, go on high ground and spam them out a little bit. Even if Hanzo, you see the Hanzo like charging his shots and trying to aim at you, then you can just shift backwards to your team. One thing I want to tell you is that you do not have to face the direction that you're using your shift to. You can just press your S key to go backwards. You don't have to turn around and do this. That might decrease, lower down a little bit of your APM, because while you're doing that, you might be investing a heal into your team with your Blossom. Okay.
Maybe retreat top when you push.
Okay. One trick that I have for you in Diamond is, and in general with the LW, just throw the 3 in the second you have it, right? Like, don't try to wait for it. Not, you know, I'm exaggerating with this the second you have it, but as fast as you possibly can, don't hold on to it forever. It's an ultimate that is just an ultimate, if that makes sense. It is rarely a teamfight winning ultimate. It's mostly used as an ability, I guess. Like, of course, you can use it to like counter the enemies, but it's more as a fake engage tool for your teammates. It stays up quite a lot. If the enemies want to shoot it, good pull. Oh, interesting. So with a pedal platform doesn't work, then you pull. Love it. You can just use it as a way to engage, to body block, to just offer some stay to your team. And in case it's a bad 3, at least the enemies are going to be investing a lot of resources into actually cutting the 3 down. So they have to reload. So you're still getting value out of the 3, even if it's a bad 3. Just throw it somewhere where you feel like your teammates are going to benefit from it. Maybe body block the enemies, even if it's just like a little bit of healing here and there. One cool trick that I have for you is understand the range of the payload, right? This is not necessarily for LW, this is for every hero in the game. So you do not have to babysit the payload. The payload is here and there's like a certain aura around it. If your teammates are pushing in front past corners, you can just push a little bit in front of the payload. So you're still pushing the payload. You can see with the 1 sign over there or 2 sign over here on top if you're pushing it or not, while still maintaining trying to get in range to your teammates as much as possible. That is good shift usage. Use it as a way to dodge skills. Use the pedal platform as much as possible. Again, just throw it on the ground for yourself. You don't have to destroy it in that case. It can still be used. Good kiting over there. Look, for example, right now I'd like you to play right above you, or with your Ash. Right? This is another scenario in which it's fine how you're playing in the back, right? It's fine, but the enemies don't care about you. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, if you're staying on a high ground and you're trying to be annoying with your positioning, the enemies might think of doing something to you because you have a better view of the battlefield. You will still be able to support your teammates, no problem, and you might see, that's an awesome 3. You might still see situations in which you're able to do some damage to the enemies. If you stay in the back, it's too similar to how you're playing with Mercy, always value your life. With Lifeweaver, yes, value your life, but you don't have rest at the end of the day. And if you just sit there and exist, then the enemies have to focus on to 3 heroes that they see, / 4 heroes that they see in front of them, and not on to 5, compared to they see 5 in front of them, they go like, who do we go for? Do we shoot the Lifeweaver on the pedal platform? Do we shoot there? Do we shoot there? Do we shoot there? It's about the concept of taking space that is uncontested, and it becomes your space, and the enemies have to contest it, if that makes any sense.
Nice.
Love your positioning mid fights. Love your pedal platform usage. You're a good Lifeweaver player. I'll be honest. You're a really good Lifeweaver player. 2 things that I want to see you do more. 3 things, actually. Try to stay on high ground a little bit more, as I was talking about that. So throw your pedal platform and try to get more creative with those usages. And in case the enemies want to shoot you, you can just shift to the other side and save yourself. So if you're going to see like the enemies, if you feel like you take a little bit of damage, you have to push the limits. You know, you have to take some damage, because if the enemy shoot you, they don't shoot your teammates. You don't have to heal them that much. Your teammates have more space. They're uncontested. They'll feel less stressed. They'll probably land the shots. So taking some of that attention to you might result in you winning. Secondly, with LW, love the platform usage to like counter abilities and stuff. But keep in mind that with Zarya Graviton, sometimes the interaction doesn't always work. So even though in theory you can just save your pedal platform to counter it, be ready to pull somebody with that. And number 3, with your 3 usage, the second you have it, make sure to throw it in. And you're going to have an awesome time. One thing that I want to talk about, though, is the fact that right now you swap to Ana on defense. Ana on defense and Ana on this map overall, I feel like she's pretty good, especially first point on defense and ranked. You can land some really good nades. But the thing that I want to say in this scenario is, why change something in ranked if it's not broken? If it's working, I mean. You know? Like, Lifeweaver worked amazing. The enemies couldn't do anything to you. I would recommend, instead of throwing in a wild card, Ana maybe works, maybe it doesn't work. Lifeweaver worked? Yes, he worked. So the second Lifeweaver is not going to work, that's when I'm going to swap. Because right now, the enemies, maybe they thought about an answer to LW, in case you already have the answer with Ana, or maybe they did not think about an answer for LW, and then you are gonna win the game for free. One thing though that I want to talk about: start playing top left on high ground. I enjoy that you played over there at the window. Dropping in the open obviously is gonna be like, yeah, Mystic Streamer forehead. I know that I did that mistake. I know that you know that I did that mistake. But we're not on this map. You have some free, juicy hentais. If you just hug top left, watch a lot of my gameplay on this map, you're going to see me playing on top left and being as annoying as possible, because the enemies are going to have a very hard time at actually line of sighting me, having line of sight for me. So I can just land some big nades when I'm going to drop under, and I will not get sniped because I have a lot of cover from the train on top. So staying there is really good. Oh, with Ana, one thing that I want to talk about, you're playing against snipers, try to move a little bit more, right? Try to move a little bit more. This is a situation which I recommend you doing quick scope shots rather than non-scope shots. Quick scope shots, don't try to drop from high ground that fast. Always try to maintain it as much as you can, because right now you're going to have to walk all the way over there on top and you can get sniped. The enemies have good line of sight of you. You got lucky because Pharah just eliminated herself. But when you're playing against snipers and against Pharah, here are two things that I got to keep in mind. Number one, do not stay scoped in that much. You will get sniped, you will get spammed out, you will die. Number two, this is they stopped Reinhardt to Hanzo Sojourn, but still talking about like sniper plus Pharah. You cannot stay inside anywhere. If you stay inside, you'll get spammed out by Pharah, and if you stay in the open, you'll get sniped by the Widowmaker. So you have to alternate the positions. This is why you don't want to stand still. And in general, like right now, I'm seeing you have wide angle left side, wide angle right side. You gotta move consistently, move. You gotta dance. You gotta try to learn how to quick scope. This will help you out a ton. You have three options how you approach this. Number one, you either stay close to your teammates if you can, but you're playing with a Winston and he's just gonna dive around non-stop, so you cannot do this strategy, which is doing on-scope shots to your allies and be precise with them. Number two, find a safe spot where you can stay in and break the line of sight for the enemies to be able to get to you, and just stay scoped in and land the shots, but you're gonna move slower and maybe your teammates are gonna line of sight you. Or number three, do everything with alternating. Nice aim there. Do everything with alternating your unscoped shots, quick scope shots, and scoped in shots, but this is the best tip that I have for you from the Ana gameplay that I've seen so far. Play Ana paintball. Learning to quickscope will help you out a ton, because in Ana paintball, you will be able to learn when quickscope matters, when scoped in shots work, when unscoped shots work too, right? Because right now what I'm seeing is if you get in Masters or if you get in GM, you're dead. The second you stay here, you're dead. I'm not joking. You're dead. You will be sniped by the Hanzo. Hanzo will not go there. Hanzo will go somewhere in the back and just spam you here randomly, which is exactly what's going to happen to Cassidy and Soldier here. You're dead, right? So learn to alternate Ana's firing. Your ability overall, you as a player, you have an amazing understanding of abilities, right? But positioning is, I would say, pushing the limits of your positioning is what you're lacking right now. You understand the flow of the game. In general, you know the windows of opportunity. You know how to use your abilities. You know how to dodge the enemies. You kind of know how to adapt and stuff. But right now, your basics need to be solidified and improved to become advanced basics, I guess. You got the basics, now you need the advanced basics. Okay, let's talk about ultimate. Obviously gonna nano Winston. We can also nano Zarya into them, playing nice and safe. I love that you're not backing away. Like, this is a good example of not cutting back instantly, just trying to help your team. This is over there with how you're doing. Look, this shot. And then staying scoped in might give the enemies the possibility of closing the distance and capitalizing on the fact that you were not quick scoping when you could have survived. You gotta graviton out. You lived. Winton bubble day. They didn't have any follow-up. Let's see this 4 versus 4. 3 versus 4. Will you ult? I suggest that when you get it, you can ult this. Maybe. Careful. When you're walking in the open, make sure to do some card spam here and there. You want to go and take the mini health pack. Wasn't quite required. Let's see if you're going to throw the nano in. You can just let the super passive kick in. Careful about the dragon. Kite to the other side. Consider this being used. Do you choose to throw the nade right now after the bubbles, aggressively or defensively? Nice. You try to nade the Zenyatta, but a little bit too focused on one thing there. I love the fact that he chose a plan. That's not that big of a mistake, in my opinion. You chose a plan, you stuck with it, you were waiting for Zenyatta to finish his consistence, and then they the Zenyatta and the Zarya after she uses her bubbles. But in that case, when your spawns are closer than the enemies, I would prioritize in equal team fights, keeping your teammates alive, rather than capitalizing on winning the fight, because you have you have equal numbers. If you're down 1 or 2, your teammates were still coming back from a spawn, your teammates could have survived. Your Winston could have survived with that nade. You would have survived as well if you played more defensively. And then you would have probably won the 5 versus 5. If you're down 1 or 2, that's when you can go for those aggressive plays in certain team fights. But in this case, try to focus on keeping your teammates alive. You swap to Baptiste. I'm thinking probably because you feel like you can do stuff around Zarya's graviton. I don't think that you've lost a single fight because of Zarya's graviton, by the way. And against the Hanzo, you're having a very hard time right now. I would say that Baptiste is not the recommended pick in this, especially with the Pharah. But let's see how you're going to be playing this. You're spending most of the time healing your team, right? You're spending most of the time healing your team from what I see. You're not going for any damage because, to be fair, you don't have enough space to be able to do damage. Zaryas just going to zap you. Winston's just going to dive in the backline. You don't have a shield to help you over there. And Hanzo can destroy you. Zenyatta can destroy you. So you're going to be just staying in the open and fighting a lost fight because your damage fall off will not kick in. You will kick in, I mean, and you're barely gonna be tickling them. And just picking Baptiste for the lamp, you can do the same thing with Lifeweaver in this case. So this pick overall, not going to go on what he could have done against them. Mechanically speaking, theoretically speaking, not the best choice into what the enemies have. If you'd have any other tank, you could force Bap into this because the tank would play with you. But Baptiste plus Winston is a combo that could work if both players are top 500 or GM and they just like do their own stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, make sure to report. Oh my god, make sure to report, bro. I think Winston's the pick. Winston could have worked with Ana. Winston could have worked with LW. If you're gonna go in the next couple of games, again, I want to tell you this, bro. Like, seriously, if you're winning, don't change. Even if in theory it makes sense to change. If you're winning, don't change. If you die 15 times and you're winning, don't change. I'm not kidding. If you care about winning, don't change. If it's working. Don't change. Lifeweaver against them would have worked. I am not kidding. You would have won the game. You would have worked. Winston went too aggressive a lot of the times. Just don't, just keep Lifeweaver. You played amazing, right? You can try these swaps in quick play and experiment. And again, what works for me might not work for you. For me picking Baptiste in that situation, what he could have done, right? You know what I would have done? I would have controlled high ground. Zarya can get to me with Baptiste, right? She has to walk all the way. She doesn't have any vertical mobility. I would make the Hanzo and Sojourn shoot me before Winston dives in. So that if he dives in with full HP. And then I would pick when Winston's on them. But the calculations, the galaxies that I'm seeing, it's too complicated. You don't have to do this in Diamond because your Winston will take damage from, I don't know, from everywhere. From the walls are hitting him, So don't complicate it. Anyway, staying with Echo here, love that. Don't care that much about your teammates. You care too much. Oh, I'd love to have you. If I'd be in Diamond, I'd love to have you as a support. I would do a friend request. And I'd ask for a duo, I swear, if I'd be in Diamond. This is how support is played. Okay, damage boosting the bastion is in target form. That's a good power spike. It's a turn from MOBAs, but you can do it in Overwatch 2. Kind of like when heroes are like the strongest. Make sure to utilize that. So he uses target form. Don't necessarily have to pocket the echo over there. One thing when you're moving with Mercy, though, that I'm seeing is that you kind of like prioritize with staying in cover, but you can move a little bit more, right? You can move a little bit more and just zoom around. So maybe playing more Mercy in quick play. Late at night, you just want to chill, do 1 or 2 quick plays with Mercy before you decide to like stop playing. Could be good. Because like I feel like you're moving very clunky with her. I don't think they have like a lot of playtime with her. You can just zoom all around. Okay, who you're gonna be guessing? You're guessing over there. Bastion's low. Nice. You're not popping your ultimate. You have an amazing understanding, bro, of abilities. Amazing understanding of abilities. But again, we have to work on the advanced basics. On the flying around. On the quick scoping, unscoping. On trusting ourselves with our hero picks. If it's working, why change it? Doing really nice. Still staying on payload over there. Okay, damage boosting the bastion when he goes in target form. This is getting tricky. How are you gonna play this? Ooh, this is very risky. This is very risky. Playing behind a payload, love it. This is the most that you can do. Pop the Valk when they're contesting because you know soldier's gonna go for you. Try to play your life. Your teammates are there, you back out. Flawless. Great gameplay. Great gameplay here. Let's see. C9 though. C9! I just had to talk, dude. I just had to talk. It's not Ana. It is not Ana. Oh my god. The second I talk, it is not Ana. It's everybody's job in that case. You got 2 picks. Even if Reinhardt dies, you have the numerical advantage. You can just stay on point with Valkyrie. Oh god, what is happening? Guess. So, okay. Ana, really. The tank overextended. Like, see, here's the problem. So, you got to, it is still winnable. You got 2 picks, and we're blaming the one that C9 rather than one that overextended. You know what I mean? Why was Reinhardt there? Like, what was Reinhardt there? Not the Ana that C9 over there. You know what I mean? Making space. Like, why do we point fingers at the one that, of course, like, duh, Ana was the closest one, but why were we in this situation in the first case, you know? Making space, yeah, sure. Making space when you have all the space already that is needed. Okay. Push up and kill the rest? No, why? You can catch them anyway. If this is Diamond, they're gonna stay around the corner. They're gonna have respawn overtime respawns, which are 12 to 14 seconds. They like increase compared to like 10 seconds. And then your team payload's still gonna be pushing. Trust me, you're gonna be able to catch them off guard. You're gonna be able to catch them off guard in that case. Just stay on payload 4v3. You care about pushing it as much as possible. You don't care about like cleaning them up and stuff. This is Diamond. We're talking about like top 500, understanding when they respawn, what are the best choke points, or whatever. Simplify the game, right? Simplify the game. We go back to Lifeweaver gameplay. Love the pick. Lifeweaver worked the best for your team in this, especially if you're playing with Winston over here. I would recommend you to stay again a little bit more on high ground. The areas that you're controlling are areas that your teammates are controlling and not you with your positioning. So I'd play top left, or even here. High ground is still good, still pretty decent. I'd probably like control over their left side, because if I would have played left side, Ana might have not walked in over there for a free and throw the nade in. Your Lifeweaver gameplay is something that we've covered already. Looking at Keiko first, realize that she's going to TP out, so you cannot, don't actually have to invest that many resources to her. Pocketing the Winston and stuff. Okay. Very nice. Pedal platform on the ground, onto your left side, right at the bottom of the stairs. You'd want to put, how do you put pedal platform? Because you tell me, Mr. Streamer, you tell me where to put pedal platform. Put pedal platform where you have more options to rotate, right? That's still a good one. So you can like take high ground, kite back, go over here, or jump on the fire track. Does that make sense? Like, I open up so many angles with just one pedal platform. But if necessary, you can just use it to go up. It's no problem. And even if you feel like it's a bad platform, you can just like break it with your interact key. Focusing on the tree, probably not even gonna touch. Oh, they did touch over there. Pedal platform for yourself. Start on high ground right now. Spam the Reinhardt shield. When your Winston jumps on point, somebody touches the point, you can just ultimate on point. That's how it would happen in top 500 most of the times. Reinhardt's low, no problem. You can just pull this out. Spam. But again, pedal platform for yourself. Use your mobility a little bit more, and you ought to be fine. He's sleeping, pocketing the one that's being contested by the non-target. Overall, what I can say is the following, bro. Amazing Lifeweaver gameplay. Trust yourself more with the picks. If it's working, don't swap. Number 3, work on the advanced basics a little bit more. Learn on scope shots, scope 10 shots, quick scope shots. So play on a paintball a lot. Play some mercy quick play at the end of the day to understand the movement. And just trust yourself more. You're going to do awesome. You're going to climb in no time. You're a Masters player that needs a little bit more confidence. But up until GM, we might have to see some forcing stuff rather than letting your teammates do stuff if you want to climb and play more aggressively with the heroes that they have. But in order to do that, you gotta have better mechanics.